a narrative journey through a security breach. An engaging narrative script exploring the profound organizational impact of cyber incidents, the illusion of absolute safety. Imagine a standard, quiet morning at the office. Coffee mugs are steaming, keyboards are clicking, and data flows silently across network grids. For years, leadership has poured resources into building a flawless corporate image, a fortress of consumer trust. Yet beneath this calm exterior lies an uncomfortable truth, despite the best of intentions and an array of sophisticated safeguards. Protecting an organization from every single cyber attack is simply not feasible. Cybercriminals operate in the shadows, tirelessly innovating and evolving their methods. They only need to succeed once. A business must defend perfectly every second. When that invisible perimeter eventually cracks, the consequences are swift, multi-layered, and potentially devastating. The digital graffitists. The first signs of trouble are often subtle, masquerading as simple corporate embarrassment before revealing a deeper malice. Imagine a visitor arriving at your company's homepage only to be greeted by vulgar political statements, stolen assets, or blatantly untrue information. This is the work of a hacker or an organized hacking group executing website vandalism. While a massive homepage defacement screams for immediate attention, the more insidious threat lies in microvandalism. A clever bad actor might simply alter a few minor digits in your organization's customer service telephone number or corporate address. These tiny edits are incredibly tricky to detect, remaining active for weeks while quietly diverting your traffic. In either case, whether a digital graffiti wall or a silent misdirection, online vandalism instantly projects a toxic image of unprofessionalism, dealing an immediate blow to your hard-earned credibility. The siphoned core. As the digital dust settles from the defacement, the true scope of the breach begins to crystallize in the IT department. This isn't just an embarrassing prank. It is a meticulously coordinated data breach designed for theft. Deep within the secure databases, sensitive personal customer records, financial accounts, and proprietary datasets have been systematically drained. Once cybercriminals seize this data, the nightmare shifts outside your company walls. They weaponize this information, either leaking it onto public forums to maximize chaos, or selling it on the dark web where malicious buyers exploit it to drain bank accounts and steal the identities of real people. Yet, the damage doesn't stop with customer files. The attackers frequently breach deeper vaults to strike at the crown jewels of the business, confidential strategic documents, long-term blueprints, trade secrets, and core intellectual property. When your unique innovations are leaked directly to the public or quietly acquired by cutthroat global competitors, your market advantage evaporates overnight. A single breach can turn years of proprietary research and development into open-source property, destroying the company's competitive edge indefinitely, the true cost of fallout. When a breach occurs, the immediate panic gives way to a prolonged economic and structural crisis. The financial toll is rarely confined to a single line item. Instead, it manifests as a cascading loss of revenue that can push a business to the brink of bankruptcy. 1. Immediate operational paralysis. Hackers often launch denial of service attacks or distribute ransomware that completely takes down your website, freezing online operations and preventing the business from transacting globally. 2. Long-term stagnation. The sudden loss of historical customer information, transaction logs, and pipeline leads severely impedes future company growth, pausing expansion plans in their tracks. 3. Forced security overhead. The organization is suddenly forced to divert emergency capital into rebuilding an entirely new, heavily reinforced cybersecurity infrastructure. 4. Regulatory compliance penalties. Governments and regulatory bodies step in to penalize the lapse in protection, slapping the organization with massive legal fines for failing to safeguard private data. But perhaps the most agonizing realization is the severe, long-term reputational damage. Relationships built over decades crumble in an afternoon. Affected customers must be legally notified of the compromise. Faced with exposed data, these individuals rightly demand steep compensation, while a flood of others cut ties completely. Turning to secure, highly prepared competitors. The rot spreads internally, too. Talented, top-tier employees often refuse to be associated with a compromised brand or a public scandal, packed up, and choose to resign, depending on how poorly the situation is handled. Repairing an organization's public standing is an uphill battle that can take years of painful transparency. The front line of defense. A security breach is no longer a hypothetical IT problem, it is a defining corporate crisis. Because cybercriminals are constantly engineering new vectors of attack, breaches will eventually happen. When the inevitable compromise occurs, the survival of the enterprise rests entirely on the shoulders of skilled cybersecurity professionals. It is up to these defenders to step into the chaos, execute response frameworks, and work tirelessly to minimize the operational impact. Understanding these devastating consequences is the first step. The next is committing to the perpetual guard that keeps the modern digital world safe.
Bạn muốn học mạng máy tính nhanh hơn, hiệu quả hơn và có người đồng hành xuyên suốt? Khóa học mạng máy tính 1-1 sẽ mang đến cho bạn một giảng viên hướng dẫn riêng, xây dựng lộ trình học phù hợp với trình độ và mục tiêu của bạn. Bạn sẽ được thực hành liên tục trên các bài lab thực tế, rèn luyện kỹ năng cấu hình và xử lý sự cố mạng như trong doanh nghiệp. Với lịch học linh hoạt, hỗ trợ tận tình và tập trung 100% vào sự tiến bộ của từng học viên, bạn sẽ tự tin chinh phục chứng chỉ kỹ sư mạng quốc tế và sẵn sàng bước vào sự nghiệp quản trị mạng doanh nghiệp. Khóa học mạng máy tính 1-1 học đúng trọng tâm, thực hành chuyên sâu, sẵn sàng cho công việc thực tế.